I'm here with Rav Yochanon Gurary, the Rav Aroshi of Holon, the chief rabbi of Holon, and I'm in his wonderful house. And we saw his beautiful library here, which is about 25,000 Sfarim books, holy books. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your life, your shlichus, your family background. You begin wherever you want. Go ahead, Rabbi Gurary. Speak a little louder, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Where should I start from? That's what my question.
Start a little with your family history.
My family history. First of all, we're Chabad all the way up to the Alter Rebbe.
Not just to the Mittler Rebbe, from the Alter Rebbe.
The first Gurary, his name was Nosson Gurary.
Yeah.
His father was Leib Gurary.
Yeah.
And the Nosson Gurary, the sefer is called Ole Shem, Pitz Tov Reis. I'll show you the sefer.
Okay, afterwards.
Okay.
That your Elter Zayd, your great grandfather, wrote a sefer.
No.
In the sefer, Oli Shem.
It is how they call this on all
Rabbanim, all the rabbis, yeah.
All the rabbis. Tovresh Ein Beis.
Okay, 1912, yes.
That's all.
So who was you talking about? Reb Nosson Gurary?
Yeah, but there was a Rov. His name was a Gurary that was a Rov from Charol.
Yes, I've heard of him. I forget his name now. Yes,
Shmuel Gurary. But no, it's not the Shmuel Gurary.
Right, it's not the Shmuel Gurary was your Elter Zayda.
Okay, no.
But he was a relative.
It was the same family.
Same family.
So he wrote about the family in Ole Shem.
Okay.
They interviewed him at Kanevas.
Yeah.
And he writes that the first Gurary that he knows is Arya Leib Gurary, that came from Medina Acheres, doesn't write from where. And he had a son that's called Nosson Gurary.
Mm-hmm.
Now he writes that the Nosson Gurary was a Talmid Chochem.
Yeah.
And once he was in the Bismedrish from the Alter Rebbe, and he had an argument with the Snagit.
Yeah.
And in a Rosh and Brochus.
A Rosh and Tractate Brochus, yes?
And the Alter Rebbe was standing there, and he said, Halacha Reb Nosson.
Wow, that's what he writes.
He writes that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, you go back to the Alter Rebbe, yeah.
And this Nosson Gurary, he writes there that he taught the Mittler Rebbe, even though I didn't find it in Sforim, his name I'll call upon him, but he writes that he was, and when the Alter Rebbe passed away, he was the one that said that the Mittler Rebbe should become a Rebbe.
Really?
Yes.
And this was Arya.
This was Nosson Gurary.
The first Nosson,
yeah.
whose father was
Arya Leib.
Got it. Okay, and then when did your family move to Kremenchuk? The Gurarys are known for Kremenchuk.
Okay, he used to live in a small city. It was a Rov in a small city. I'll somewhere else of the name, and they moved to Kremenchuk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he passed away in Kremenchuk.
This is Reb Nosson Gurary.
When
do you remember when he passed away roughly? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And the whole family lived in Kremenchuk.
Yes.
I was about 3 years ago. I took all my children in Eniklach to Kremenchuk, and I found there very interesting things. First of all, I found there the Gurarys there were people that had money.
Yeah, they were well off.
Yeah. And they had a business. It's called was tabak.
Tabak, yeah.
Tabak, cigarettes.
Cigarettes, yeah.
It's still standing today.
The building or the business?
The building and the business was still working today. The Japanese bought it now, and this is a Rosh Hashanah from Hanikol told me.
From Kremenchuk.
And he asked that he wants to have a picture from my grandfather to hang up in his attic.
Uh-huh.
And we were there, so we visited the place, the whole fabric went around there, and that's how they call it.
Now I understand that the house, I think, is still standing. Am I wrong?
The house is standing.
The house?
Same house is there. Yeah. Not only that, there's a hospital that the Gurary's for Jews that didn't have the money, so
They funded it.
They funded it, and a whole bunch of chinim will still be in the on their cheshbon.
Right, so that's still standing.
That's standing. That's standing.
It's and functioning as a hospital.
No, I don't know.
Right, you don't know. Okay.
Okay, and then there's a.
But did you go into the house where your Zaydas, lived?
I went into the house. Into the house. You're talking about wait. And I'm talking about the house now. I'm talking about the fabrik.
Yeah.
Okay.
That you went into. You told me.
Okay. Then we went further. We found the shul of the Gurarys. The shul.
They had an own shul. They had their own shul.
Yeah, their own shul. They were called Spitz Chabad.
Yeah. Right. So in other words, in addition to a regular Lubavitcher shul, this was the Spitz Chabad shul.
Probably the more shuls, as I called it. Chernobyl Chasidim.
Yeah. But I'm saying there was another Chabad shul too, right? Yeah. There was the famous Rav Rafalovich.
Right.
He wasn't he a Rav in a Lubavitcher shul?
Again, I don't know.
You don't know, okay? So 1 second. This shul is still standing.
The shul is half broken. It's how they call it.
You mean demolished?
It's demolished. It's not.
But the building shell is there.
Yeah, the building is there. It's not a big building. It's a wooden building.
And does your family own it?
Yes, they all know the brother.
They own it till today?
No, today I don't know. Then there was also a in the Dnepropetrovsk. They also had a big fabrik, and there was also shul from the Lubavitch, from the
Gurarys in Yaktinislav, what it's called.
There's two parts of it. It's not the second side.
You were there?
I was there a lot of times. Yeah, I was there a few times in the
right.
And
so basically, they go back
all
the way throughout the Rabbi. And of course, we know that they were
very makusha to do.
Yeah, the Rabbeim, and they paid.
Years later, there was the Herschel, Nosson Gurary. They had three children. One was Shmuel Gurary, the oldest.
Yeah.
Then we had a son that's called Nosson Gurary. That's my grandfather. And then he had another one, the Rashak's father. It's called Menachem Mendel.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Nosson Gurary had a son that's called Herschel Gurary. There was a very rich person, very rich also. He lives in Vash. Later went over to
Vash, yes.
And he was killed with all his children over there.
Yeah.
The only one that was left over was the wife from. Her name was Chaychke.
Chaychke, how you doing? Nochem Goldschmidt's wife.
Nochem Chaychkes.
Yeah, Nochem Chaychkes, right. Yeah. Right, she was the only one. And I think the Rebbe said a Maimer at his Vort or marriage to Sadikei, I think.
The Rebbe married my grandfather.
When he was Masada Kedushin?
My grandfather Krasik.
Rebbe Leizer Karasik.
And his wife was a Gurary also.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he was the Masada Kedushin? I didn't know that. Where? In Kremetchuk?
In I think in Rostov.
I
think in Rostov.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now
this house for Gurary, he bought a big house, a very big house. It was and the professors from Kremetchuk were Masha. This is the house, and the house is there. Now the house was belonged to Herschel Gurary, and he lived on one floor, and then he made the whole. The whole story. The yeshiva Lubavitch was in that house.
Yes, I've read that. I didn't know this part. I read that he opened his house to make the yeshiva in the Kremetchuk yeshiva. Yeah, with Avraham Mayor and others when they ran away from Lubavitch.
Right.
Tafri Shayin Ches. Right.
And the building is there.
The building is there.
And the Zal is there. We went into the building and we saw the Zal, we saw the rooms where they slept above him, everything.
So what does it use that as today?
It's a
theater?
No, not a library. No, it's a printing house.
It's a printing house. But they didn't change. They
didn't change, and it's still on the name from Herschel Gurary.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then he moved over to Varsha, Reb Herschel, right?
He moved to Varsha.
And the Frierdiker Rebbe, I think, stayed with him part of the time when he was running away from the bombs, from Notvotsk.
Right.
Let me ask you, why couldn't he get out? I mean, with his connections and his wealth, I mean, and the Rebbe got out, and why couldn't he do the same thing like the Rebbe? He didn't want to go?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It can be he didn't want to go. First, he was aided by the son of the Balat Chedes.
The Radziner.
Zina.
Right, okay, verstehe.
I can't say the reason why.
Yeah, right. Tell me, there was a Gurary in New York, Julius Gurary. He was a son from Shmuel, am I right?
Right, that's Shmuel Gurary. Shmuel Gurary is the Gvir.
Yeah.
The biggest Gvir from everybody.
So he was a brother
From who?
for Reb Shmuel.
He was a brother from Nosson. He was the oldest brother, Nosson.
Oh, so there were four brothers.
No, three brothers. Nosson, Menachem Mendel, and Shmuel.
And Shmuel. Now, so this Julius is a son of Shmuel.
Yes.
How many other children did he have?
A few children he had.
And they all came to America?
They all came to America, and he was very big Gvir.
Yeah.
The yeshiva in Nosson Parkway, the building of the kitchen, I remember how it was on their name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So he was the Rashad.
Rashad got it.
Yeah. I know. I found such a letter, something. There's something I saw Julius Gurary. That was the money.
Jew was he was aided by the son of the Chassam Sefer, by a name called Chassam Sefer.
A Schreiber?
A Schreiber, yeah.
He was, yeah?
I'll show you.
Mm-hmm. He passed away before your time, right?
He passed away. My aunt and my grandmother were by his house.
Oh, by his house.
Visited him, yeah.
Uh-huh. What about his children? Any connection to you guys? Gosh.
No,
Yeah. Right. Okay, so let us now